It is Monday, the 24th of February, 2020. My voice is still wrecked, but this is such an important episode. I really wanted to get this out. We got four main sections in this episode. First, we're going to go over the long-term look at Bitcoin in all of the monthly charts. And then we're going to zoom into our daily charts and our short-term charts to see what's going on with this price chart right now. Where is it going to pull back to? What can we get ready for and expect? Because some people are calling this the pocket when it pulls back. Some people call it the NITRO trade. And some people call it the Slingshot trade. Everybody has a pet name for it. You know what I mean? It's the same formation. Everybody's watching for it. We're going to dig right into that in this episode for Bitcoin. And at the end of the episode, I'm going to talk about the long-term details of Bitcoin dominance over altcoins. And what does that mean for our future with altcoins? And where is the opportunity setting up right now in the altcoins? We've got 100 of them in neutral status. They're all going to go through alert status and then into hold status. It's the perfect time. All of the balls are set up at the pitcher plate, and we can sit there with our bat ready and get ready to smack those balls when they come across as they go through this process and they go from neutral to alert to hold. That is the time that it's moving from the bottom formation and moving back up again. So let's jump into the craziness here. With the monthly chart, I'm going to bring it up into the log view so that we have a chance to look at how this built up here, especially right here as it made this ascending wedge that is so similar to what we're doing right now. And what happened to the RSI as that happened? It just continued to build and build month after month after month, just as we are doing now. And should that happen and we work in a log scale here, it's hard for me to imagine this continuation. And so one of the tools that we have here is this bars pattern that I can grab from this month to this month, and then I can grab that and drag it over, and it will log itself out into the log scale to give us $300,000 as our target. And really, it actually strikes me as funny to see something like this. And when we go on to the rest of the episode and we zoom into the 4-hour time frame and get worried about the price movements, it seems kind of crazy. Now, the on-balance volume is something a little bit different. When we go to the log volume, the log chart here, we can see that we really haven't hit the volume yet. We really haven't hit it. We could be, at this stage here. And if that's the case, and I am grabbing from this bar pattern to this bar pattern, and it's going to be even crazier, and I go and stick this on there just roughly. Now let's drag this so we can see it. And it is much the same, much the same as an extra $100,000. It's coming up to $500,000 now if the volume changes the way we did in the past. Pretty insane. And here when we look at the MACD, what I'm looking for in the monthly is the same thing in the short term, is a cross and then another cross to the positive. As that's happening and we've got this ascending wedge, the only way we can really compare is to pull it back to see what happened in the past. Is that we went all the way in here. We're going to see histograms holding positive on the monthly for a long time. And we're just beginning it now. So as we zoom into the weekly time frame, then we're going to get more perspective of how this is expanding. But we can come back to the monthly and watch this flare wider as we go. It'll just continue to flare wider and wider and wider as the momentum goes up. It'll be people will say it's unexpected. It's crazy. It is crazy. I don't know how to look at the monthly view of this. It just doesn't seem to really give us any data except that it's coming up above, and just support and resistance wise, if we come up back up above this is going to be flatline just like this is in the future, just because of the size of everything going on here. And if, there's no way to know, of course, but too many of these indicators are giving us that crazy long term. So the Bollinger Bands, the monthly is like a super wide channel. It doesn't seem like we're going to get a big move. It's just going to be steady. So we're going to come up against this top second deviation, and we're just going to hold up against it all the way, just like we did before here. Well, let me go to log view. It just gets uglier here. It doesn't make any sense. But you can see how it went wide and just stayed wider as we went through that parabolic move. And everything just stayed up along the top of the monthly Bollinger Band. Nothing to do when we're up and it's going like that. It's important that we do nothing but add on when we can. So let's zoom into each individual indicator. So on the weekly time frame of the relative strength index, of course, if we're going to match something like we saw before, the RSI is going to be coming back. We're going to be doing some up and down in this trend, and there's going to be some pain. There's going to be some big drawbacks before we continue on our way up. And those drawbacks are what we're looking for right now. Some people call it the pocket. It's going to pull back into the pocket. Some people call it, well, I look for the internal 1, 2, 3 formation, and I call it the NITRO entry. Some people call it the Slingshot entry, depending on, everybody trades it. It's as old as the hills. Everybody's got a name for it and a way to identify it. We're looking for specific things in this channel. We're looking for the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. That's an ugly one. And we're also watching all of our indicators so that we can start mapping out exactly what happens in the relative strength index when we get a 1, 2, 3 internal bottom formation that is a NITRO trade entry. It's a buy signal in the uptrend. What exactly happens in these indicators? I'm expecting this RSI to pull back. I'm expecting prices to pull back just to shake everybody out because of where things are right here. As I zoom into the daily RSI, however, this has pulled back pretty good already. And I want to see that this stays above these lines here. If we are in the uptrend now, it may retest them, but it should be trending upward and keeping that trend of some sorts. We don't know how deep that may be. So let's see how this plays out and watch that signal right there. That's the daily. Let's go into the 12-hour to see how it's doing. It's just the same thing, but closed in. No different. 4-hour, same thing, where it really is a good zoom in of this where we're seeing these patterns. But so long as the 4-hour is holding this level, bouncing off it and coming up, we're still in the bull trend. So that means the price could come down considerably while RSI only comes down to here. The 1-hour time frame is not giving us anything different. There's no big divergences setting up here that are jumping out at me. There's a little bit of a divergence, if we can see it from here coming down, and this is holding its own. So there's a bit of a divergence setting up here in this bottom. I see some juice, but I think it's going to slip back a bit yet. And I don't know, because there's been a couple good rejections right there where prices have tried to go down and been rejected. Let's go on now to the volume and zoom in on this, right on this point here. So we're on the weekly, looking good. Daily, easing off on the volume. Don't like it. 12-hour, easing off more right there. So I think this is a top formation just on that, and it'll pull back just to shake everybody out. But the volume is easing off right now. So unless the volume breaks above these levels, and while prices are also breaking up above this, I'm not buying it, right? I still think we're going to get some negative, maybe a spike of it, and then things are going to take off. We're going to get some pain first. And it's not abnormal that we get a 50% move back from the recent move all the time. The market gives it to you and it takes it away. And this is how it builds bigger and bigger bottom formations in 1, 2, 3s. They nest. They get the little one, we get the bigger one, we get the bigger one, and it turns into the monster 1, 2, 3 that is what's shaping up right now. 4-hour time frame to zoom in on this volume. We can see some of the dumping here. Dumping, less dumping here. So again, we've given us some clean areas that if the dumping is deeper than that, as we're breaking below these levels, we know it's on its way down, and it's a real top formation. These EMAs have really done us well. Moving on to the weekly MACD indicator. It's got the cross to the positive here. It's got the cross to the positive here. So this is good overall, even if prices pull back a little bit and move up from here. Not a problem probably for the weekly MACD. It'll stay bullish. The daily, it will oscillate up and down, up and down, up and down in the uptrend. So this is not abnormal for it to cross and give us a pullback. What I am expecting is that when this gives us the bottom formation, this is going to cross back positive. So there's a big indicator we're watching for. And the 12-hour should cross before. Let's zoom in on that and see what's going on, because I can't see it. Zoom in and it's negative and pulling away a little bit. So those crosses are more important now when I'm looking at this as a divergence, where you can see the top ran out of energy, it seems, from this indicator. It may pick it up, but I'm still expecting that midway pullback and a new 1, 2, 3 in these areas where the daily will cross over. So the 12 and the 4 hour will cross over before that. And the 4 hour, I was really more excited about it doing something like we see here, staying parallel and moving up when we had a double bottom, like this double bottom. As we were setting up here, I thought, oh yeah, here we go. But then it just kind of got hammered right there. And because that's crossed over now and into the negative, while we have a double top and pulling down here, it gives me a different flavor to the whole soup recipe here now. It really changes everything from that pullback and that crossover there. It seems that it's giving us notice that more pullback is coming. And it doesn't matter. This will cross back positive and it'll completely change everything about the reading should it cross back positive and come back above these levels, the 12 hour and one day and the whole, everything else will follow it. So these are the things we're watching now. And the closer we get in, the more oscillation there is. But the 1 hour will have to cross positive as we're going up first, right? Then we have the cross, and we got the cross again as we're setting up here. That would be the positive. If this flares wider as we're going down and the 4 hour crosses, there's your negative. So we've got some nice clean areas here on all, like many of these indicators already to talk about where is that pocket going to be? Where is that slingshot trade, the NITRO entry going to be? Is it the 1, 2, 3 formation here as it breaks out and goes up above these? There, it could be. It may pull back to these levels and retest and give us a new 1, 2, 3. So let's map it out. Now we go into the Ichimoku cloud. In the weekly, a few videos ago, I was talking that when we've come to the top of the green cloud, it hasn't been good news for Bitcoin prices after that. And some technical analysts are also seeing this as negative. So we'll see now as this weekly candle unfolds what's going to happen. And we'll watch this to see if it twists positive. We'll watch the blue line. Does it pull back negative away from the red line? That would be bearish. If it crosses over, that's good news. Bullish. Now, on the 1 day time frame, the blue is coming to cross over the red. That's generally bearish, at least for a little while, until it comes into the cloud and builds its way off. So the 12-hour time frame, we've been watching for something similar here, where we had the cross to the negative, then we had the cross to the positive as it was nearing the cloud. So here we've had the cross to the negative, but it has flared wider now, I guess just as it did here. So we'll see, does this pull up and cross over the red line? If it does, this will confirm, and that'll be the buy signal in the uptrend. That is the buy signal in the uptrend on the Ichimoku. And we should see it coming. We should see the 4-hour cross and give it to us first, or at the same time at least, where the blue has crossed over the red, it looks like. It's hard to say. And should this build up and go above these levels, it'll be confirming everything. So this is a good confirming indicator. The 1 hour, where are we? We're, the cloud is generally on a downtrend. We're below it. It's not giving it to us yet. The Bollinger Bands on the weekly time frame, I expect that we're going to be pressing up. If we're in the uptrend, we're just going to keep pressing up against this all the way. It's going to be wonderful. Let's zoom in now to see if we are getting this pullback, this 1, 2, 3 top formation. And this parallel channel is an important one too. I like to watch all the parallel channels. And as the price makes a top formation and comes out of that, that's a really important 1, 2, 3 as it's breaking down below that channel right there. So I'm zooming in and just paying attention to that parallel channel, actually in all of the other charts too. It's sort of on my mind as I'm watching. And watching the 1, 2, 3 as it breaks out of the parallel channel. And we get all these indicators lining up. Everything's panning down here. It's starting to tighten up on the 12 hours. So something big is setting up. We don't know if it is something like this and it's going to bounce off and go up. But this was a mean reversion signal here. So let's see now what is going on. And we'll zoom in on this 4-hour time frame. Higher lows, pinched cloud and wider, but it hasn't really given the big move yet. So I don't know if it's bouncing, or is it bouncing, It's not really revealed it to us yet. We're still watching all those indicators. Just before I get into the altcoins, this could be the pocket that we're in right now. But I am expecting that we're going to see this pull back a little bit further, and we'll just continue watching the indicators to see if we are going to be moving above these levels or below these levels right now. Really key areas as we've been watching. Phenomenal. But for me, that's not the big show. When we look at the altcoins, this is where the big show is going to be. Remember, Bitcoin went from $1,000 to $3,000 here. That's tripling, 300% gain. But some of the alts made 4,000% gain through this period of time. So Bitcoin's made some gains here over the past while, but some of the alts have made 100% gains and greater. If we head over to the website, Introtocryptos.ca/alerts, there is this snippet of coins that are over 39% profit in our holds right now. It's crazy. And what would it have meant to your portfolio in cryptos if you had been doing this system from the beginning with us as this bull market was first starting out? It is crazy. It takes a lot of patience, but look, we have only just begun the altcoin bull market. The most exciting thing for me now is this wick in this candle. So if I go from this monthly view in dominance and I bring it down to the 12-hour view, we can see this wick is actually the pullback here. As Bitcoin dominance gave us the signal here, and we were building out the portfolio of the coins that gave us the signal to as they gave us the signal, now prices have pulled back on many of those profitable coins, and they're not quite as profitable as they were, but they're still nowhere near time to get out of these coins. In fact, the bull market watch shows us that it is a perfect time to be looking at these coins, because everything is pulled back, and we have 108 coins in neutral status now on Binance. All of them are going to go through the alert status. They're going to be new alerts, then they're going to be in alert status, and then they're going to move to hold status. We have time now to study all of these, get prepared with our trades, and be ready for our risk control rules when we're getting into these markets. And we can build out our portfolio to take advantage of the next phases of Bitcoin dominance moves. I don't know where it's going to go, but I drew these horizontal lines just based on support and resistance from the past. So as we're touching these lines of support and resistance, I expect things were going to bounce. And this time in our Bitcoin dominance change, I don't think it's going to be quite as fast and dramatic as this, but instead we're going to be seeing it pan itself out and do sort of the reverse of what we're seeing here. It's going to be easier and easier as we go. But these are going to be incredibly massive moves in the altcoins starting right now. And if you don't have an altcoin plan, be sure to head over to the website Introtocryptos.ca. And you don't need to purchase. Go to the home page and you can sign up for the free crypto trading system, the very system that the Bull Market Watch program is based on. I give you the entire system because I want this to be available and free to people who need it. You don't need to have money to learn how to make money work for you. And I want you to have this stuff. So grab that and come and join our free Discord chat so that you can ask questions about it. Bug us all. Everybody loves talking about these 1, 2, 3 patterns. We've been doing fantastic with it. Now, if you're actively trading and you want some help with it, the $15 a month for 3 months on the Bull Market Watch is crazy, crazy cheap. And its price is going up. The $67 per month for 3 months on the altcoin alert package is also going up because it's just getting so busy with all the number of people that we have in the course that I'm starting to get taxed out now on customer support and asking questions and making sure that everybody who joins can ask all the questions that they want. I want you to have this success right now is so important. So don't miss out. Don't just watch this go by. You've got the information and that's not enough. It's not enough to know about it. You have to believe in it. You have to have the habits of it. You have to be patient with it. It has to become a habit that you've practiced and practiced and practiced. So this isn't a get-rich-quick scheme. It is a habit that we are using in cryptocurrencies, but you can use it in gold and silver. You can use it in all different markets. This very same approach to the charts. As you can tell, I'm super excited. Anyway, a bit of a rambling video here. So many great things going on. Incredibly bullish on the monthly view. We are coming down to an amazing pocket. If you are not invested in the altcoins, I'm biased, But I really recommend that, like an insurance policy, you should be putting $20 down on it, like every single cryptocurrency. And 5 years from now, your life will be completely different. Anyway, that's it for this video. I am jumping into the bull market watch spreadsheet right now, looking at the updates, and I'm going through the pro alert spreadsheet right now to be sure all of our stop losses are in the right place. Get the signals before. We give you the alerts before the entry signal so that you can get prepared for results that have turned out to be just like this. Greater than 39% profit. There are just too many that are just over 20% profit. Anyway, thanks again for watching this video. Good luck in your Bitcoin trading. Super good luck in your altcoin trading. This is such an amazing time in history. We are so lucky to be here. And I'm honored to have you guys along watching this video. I can't wait to hear your success stories. Thanks again, and I will probably sound better in the next video. Thanks. Bye for now.